treat to be married to someone not only that you love, but that you like. And not only you love and like, but you admire and you respect. And that's what I'm really lucky about. And I appreciate all those things he said. Well, tonight, we're going to talk for just a few minutes about leadership and leadership in action. And what I want to tell you about is what's happened in this community since I've been a city commissioner. Now, I can't take credit for all of it, but I'm going to take a little bit, okay? And I'm going to take you on a trip with me, and I'm going to lead you around the town. And it's going to start right here, Park Avenue, 100% rented for the first time in 25 years, right? So I have to tell you, those are the kinds of things that are happening in our community. And it's exciting, and it's fun, and it's great to be a part of that. If we walk across the street here, we're going to see the SunRail station going up. I don't know if Leslie's here, but I have to tell you that we didn't have to pay for that station. We got almost $1 million. I guess we paid for it indirectly, but we got almost $1 million from Congressman Micah to put up that new station. How many of y'all want to ride the SunRail train? I don't know where we're going, but I'm going to get on it, right? Same thing's true about Park Avenue. You know what's so cool about Park Avenue? You can buy 100 different kinds of cola and 100 different kinds of olive oil at the other end of the street. It's just so much to do. How many of you all shop on Park Avenue? Raise your hand. How many of y'all are merchants on Park Avenue? So you're glad. We just turn to your neighbor and say thank you, because that's what's making Park Avenue. So we got Park Avenue, we got the SunRail, and if we take a left on Morse and I lead you down that street, you're going to see that we have a Dr. Martin Luther King Park. And that park got named from a task force that brought a lot of people in the community together. And I had the honor of being on that task force, and I'm delighted we did that in a united manner. Right across the street, the C&L building, who's seen it? It's open. There's people in there. Anybody here that's working in that building? It looks a lot better than the old state office building. When I went to the city commission, they had these initials called SOB. That stood for state office building. That's not what it stood for when I was growing up. But state office building, and we got a brand new, beautiful building. Now, if you keep on going straight, you'll go right into Lakeside. Lakeside is going to have the new Trader Joe's. Who wants to shop at Trader Joe's, right? We already got a new Wawa. Who's been to the Wawa? It's right up the street. We got some cool things going on, and you no longer go down Denny and see that ugly garage. You got some apartments in front of it. We've got senior housing going in there. And if you keep going down 1792, you're going to see right out there, there's this beautiful fountain in Wabash. A wonderful opportunity for us coming up. So who knows what's going to happen over there. Let's come back down to our own restaurant road. Have you eaten at Natalia? Have you eaten at Carmel? Have you eaten at all the great restaurants over there? Marlowe's Tavern? Places that weren't here 3 years ago, they're there now. It's great fun to have these new places. If you go down on Fairbanks, what do you see? You see, finally we got some stuff happening there, and we got new lights up. They got sewer on Fairbanks. They've been trying to get sewer on Fairbanks for 15 years. It's in, guys. Now I got to give my friend Doug Metcalf, right here, Doug waved to everybody. I got to give him credit because he was on the commission when they made the really, really great decision to buy the power company. And the power company, we are the envy of every other city in the state. Thank you, Doug, for what you did. So we have the power company, and even though it takes some time, there was a promise of 25 years to get this city undergrounded, and we're on target to make that happen. Every year we get about 5 miles underground. That's where we are right now. So thank you, Doug, and thank you for keeping an eye on that. I love the lighting that's going along with it. We're working hard on that. We got a fewer billboards on Fairbanks, and we continue to work on getting rid of some of those. Now let's go down by the meat house. Who likes the meat house? Yeah, I can go to the meat house and buy dinner already cooked and tell George I cooked it, you see? And he does it. He says, this tastes so good. How did you do it? I said, oh, it's just a recipe. So I love the meat house. We go down there. Meat garden. I saw Sue Foreman here a minute ago. Where's Sue?
Right here.
I saw Sue over here. We have Sue. Who else is here? Bill Weir here. We got a few people that worked on meat garden. You might go in and see something like they have a great place. I know Marcia Fry's here. Marcia works with Mead Garden. We got lots of folks working out there. And we have a new pavilion there that was put in for the youth orchestra. A wonderful addition to Mead Garden. You hear the train coming, it's going to get me. I'm going to go faster so that they won't get me. So we got Mead Garden. Now let's go down to Rollins. And how is that new Bush building? I don't know if you've been in it, but it is a thrill to go in that building and see kids in white coats studying and learning. And then, who all's been over to Alphon Inn? Wow, is that not cool? The Alphon Inn is something. It is the place to go and be. All that art, it's beautiful. Now we're heading on out towards my house, and when you get out there, you're going to drive right by, and I'm going to lead you by Pulaski. And Pulaski's got something exciting going on there. George and I remember the first time we ever saw Pulaski. Ken gave us a book about Pulaski, and we didn't know how to pronounce it. So we ended up, now they're getting the Capon House. There's going to be a lot of fun. And then you come up on Lake Mizell. That happens to be our lake. You won't come to our lake on a Saturday without seeing lots and lots of boards out there. Last Saturday, George and I were watching, and they had these people out there on their boards, and all of a sudden they had a dog. They were singing happy birthday, and then the dog was running across the boards. It's kind of fun to watch. There's so much activity. How many of you guys serve on a board here in the city of Winter Park? We got boards. We got Joe putting his hand up. We got all these boards, and they're dealing with issues all the time, and that's what's making things work for us. We go on out towards Lake Monty. We're going to come up on the hospital. Hospitals just got permission to put in a parking garage. A very tasteful parking garage. Not something I thought actually happened. Was tasteful and parking garages in the same sentence, but this one looks pretty good. And that's going to get some of those cars that are on the streets over there off those streets. Now we're going to run by and check out the parking garage they got to build over at Winter Park Towers. This is in the last 3 years. Are y'all getting tired? Think about me, okay? I also want to tell you, I was out at Mayflower not long ago, and we were doing the raising the money where the city and the college and all these people came together and said, let's raise $50,000 for needy people this time of year. And I think we're at about $45,000 right now. We got 2 days to go. So after you write a check for me, you can write one for them. So we're raising money out there. The Mayflower looks great. We come back to town and you go by Brookshire, a brand new school, looks great. You go by Lakemont, a brand new school that looks great. All our schools have been redone now. When we hit the YMCA, their pool and their parking lot are getting dedicated, I think, this week. And I have to tell you the really cool thing. They just gave out 804 scholarships to teach kids to swim in kindergarten and first grade in the city of Winter Park. Give them a round of applause. Those 804 people who might not have learned to swim without that, so thank you. We're heading back to town and we're going to go by the golf course. How many of y'all played our golf course? Is it not neat? And we're unusual. Most people who have golf courses are trying to figure out ways to get rid of them because they cost so much money. We have that built into our budget, and that golf course is doing well. We're also going to go by the cemetery. Palm Cemetery is near and dear to us because I can't do tonight without mentioning two people. And you all know who they are. We haven't had an election in this town without Lydia and without Mary. So I don't know that Chris is here tonight, but we can only run for office because we had people like Lydia Gardner prepare our way, and people like Mary Rumberger who set us up. And I am sure, okay, Lydia is up there right now going, go girl, go, and Mary's up there saying, Sarah, please put on some makeup, okay? But we love them greatly. We come back into town and we're here now. We got the train coming, but I have to tell you, the really neat thing is this is the best time of year to live here. Is our mayor here? Is Ken here? Well, do something, Ken. I gotta give Ken so much credit because his oversight to our finances is what makes our city strong. Come on up here, Ken. Don't you hide. Come on up here because this man is keeping our finances strong. How about any of our other commissioners? Steve is not here because he went downtown to watch something else. But we have Carolyn and Tom, and we all five sit up there and make decisions for you. There's two things that we have going on. Two things that are real important in this city, and the reason I wanted to lead you around the city and give you a picture of our leadership in action. We have a very, very strong financial base, and you can thank Ken for that because he's not going to let us get away with anything less. And secondly, we have an infrastructure that people like Doug started for us with our power company, owning our water company. All the things we're doing now are making us a better city, and we have lots of people to thank. When I ran 3 years ago, I said I wanted to run on the idea that together we're better, because I believe that. And we are better today than we were when I went in. Not just because of me, but because we're all working together. They say that leadership is not about creating, about finding consensus, it's about creating consensus. We have about 95% of our votes are 5-0 votes. You have a very strong group who are working for you. So that's one reason I want to keep running. And the second reason you saw when you saw my husband. You know, it's a family affair. If you're a city commissioner, everybody gets involved. They get involved because there's no other way to do it. And so we're lucky to have the support of our spouses, and I also have the support of my children. Now, those of you, how many of you guys have children? You know that if you have children, the best thing you can say about them is that you want them to grow up to be the kind of people who live next door to you, okay? Luckily, Clark doesn't live right next door to us, but he doesn't want to, but he's the kind of person that you want for your neighbor. So it gives me great pleasure to tell you that I want my child, or our youngest child, the only one who lives in Winter Park, to bring it home. So here you go.